Hey y'all, Taylor Lauren here. Welcome back to my channel. Here on my channel, I talk about my life as a beauty queen, as a wife, and as a mama. So if that content interests you, then keep on watching. Today, I'm going to be sharing some tips with you on where to start with your pageant prep. So you've decided that you want to do a pageant. What do you do now? That's what we're going to talk about today. So if you're interested in these tips, then just keep on watching. So the first tip that I have for you guys, I feel like this is overlooked a lot. And I think once you've decided to compete in a pageant, if you haven't already done so, then you need to go and you need to watch a pageant. And I recommend watching one live. Do not watch Miss America or Miss Universe first, because 9 times out of 10, that's not the level that you're going to be starting at. Those are national and international level pageants. If you're doing a pageant for the first time, you're most likely starting on the local or the state level. So there are plenty of systems that have preliminaries that you could locate in your area. Miss America preliminaries, Miss USA preliminaries. Even if the system that you plan on entering has a preliminary in your state, go and watch that pageant. So if you didn't go watch a pageant and that sparked your desire to do one, if maybe you saw one on TV or you have some girlfriends that are doing them and you want to do them too, make sure that you watch, because it gives you a very good visual to the production factor of pageantry. I do have a performance degree, and I feel like pageantry is first and foremost a production. You have the light, stage, action, hair, makeup, and especially if you're like more so of an introverted person, you're not used to being on stage or entertaining an audience, like you need to go and watch a pageant so that you can see how a show is ran, and so that you can see what is required of the contestants and your future self if you decide to get up there and do it. So don't watch them on YouTube, don't watch them on TV. You need to go and pay for a ticket and watch one live and see what the result is of weeks and weeks and weeks and sometimes months of preparation. That'll also give you a great opportunity to start networking with other people in the pageant industry, contestants, coaches, MCs, judges, and that'll be really helpful to your preparation as well. So don't be watching them on TV. You need to go and watch one live. You need to go and watch a live pageant. This is also a great tip if you're aging up or aging out of an age division. I always recommend this to my teen clients who are transitioning into Miss. You need to go and watch a Miss pageant so that you can see what that transition looks like on stage, and it just helps you to be so much more prepared. So first thing that I recommend you do is go and watch a pageant live. Number 2, so once you've watched a pageant, you need to find one that fits your strengths, that fits what you're passionate about. Name recognition doesn't always equal optimal opportunity for you. So if you know you're not as confident in where you're at with your body right now, don't do a pageant that has fitness or swimsuit. If you know you're not confident in your ability to perform a talent, do not choose a pageant that has a talent category. You need to find a system that plays up your strengths and what you're good at, and one that can help you improve on your weaknesses, obviously, but you don't want to feel like you're competing in more categories that you're not optimally confident in than categories that you're not. So the greatest resources that you can use, Google, honey. Just Google different pageant systems, follow some pageant pages on Instagram. If you have a really, really strong talent, or if you're really, really confident in your body and how you look aesthetically, Google pageants with fitness and swimsuit competition, pageants with a talent competition. There's so many systems out there, especially since COVID. We have so many virtual systems and just so many, y'all, there's so many pageant systems. Possibilities are endless. So you shouldn't have any issues or any trouble finding ones that suit your strengths and suit your personality, that suit what you're passionate about. So just get on, start Googling. If you have girlfriends that are already competing, pick their brains. And if you have a coach or if you have a mentor that's been in the pageant industry for a while, ask them for some recommendations as well. Tip number 3, you need to set a budget, girl. How much money do you want to spend? It's no secret that pageants cost money, just like any other hobby. They cost what you allow them to cost. So you need to set a big number of what you want to spend and break it down per category. What do you want to spend on wardrobe? What do you want to spend on lodging? How much do you want to spend on coaching? Are you getting hair extensions? Do you want to get a manicure and pedicure? Are you going to need to get wax? Alterations? All of these things you have to take into consideration the cost. So when you're deciding on how much you want to spend and when you're putting your budget together, take all of those things into consideration depending on the level you're competing at and where you're competing at. Some things may or may not apply to you. Like if you're doing a local pageant that's close to your home, you may not have a lodging section in your budget. But if you're doing a state competition that's maybe an hour or 2 away from you, or 2 or plus more hours away from you, you may want to get a hotel for the weekend or what have you. So just take those things into consideration when you are deciding on your budget and how much you want to spend on your pageant. The next tip that I have for you is to make sure that whatever pageant you decide to do, make sure that it fits into your life schedule. So for example, when I was looking at pageants to compete in when I was pregnant, my due date was in November, so I made sure to stay clear of all pageants that were between September and January, because I knew I would be getting ready to deliver and it would be postpartum, and I knew me myself, I most likely would not be up for competing at that time. So if you are in school and you have midterms coming up, or if you're engaged and you're planning a wedding, or if your family takes a summer vacation around the same time every year, make sure that the pageant date fits into your life schedule as it is already. There are plenty of pageants and plenty of opportunities, so don't feel like you have to move your life around to fit the pageant. The pageant should fit into your life. So make sure that you are competing during a time where you don't already have a million other things going on in your life and you're overbooking yourself. And the final tip that I have for you guys, I think we're on tip number 5, is to speak to other contestants that have competed in the pageant that you want to compete in, or just other pageant girls in general. I feel like this is a tip that is often overlooked, just like going to watch a pageant live. Talk to the previous queens, talk to the girls that have competed, ask them what their experience was like. And I feel like in the pageant world, we don't do this enough. We're not sharing our experiences enough with, the girls that are coming after us, whether that be the good, the bad, and the ugly, because systems need to be held accountable to how they treat contestants as well. And you need to talk to the girls that win and that don't win, the girls that are competing, just so that you can be prepared and so that you know what to expect, and so that you can take someone else's experience and keep it in the back of your head as to what your experience will be like. Of course, every experience will vary because all of us are different and individual. But it is a good rule of thumb to speak to the girls that are competing. It also shows that you're doing your due diligence and that you're not just entering pageants and competing in systems and system hopping just because you want a crown and sash. But you actually care about the mission of the pageant, and you care about how the girls that have come before you and how the girls that have already competed have made their mark, and how you can make your mark in the system as well. So speak to girls that have competed, that are going to be competing with you, and ask them about what their experiences have been like, so that you can get a better feel for the system and for what your experience will be like as well, and how your reign could possibly go should you win the title. Alright y'all, so I hope that these tips were helpful as to where to start with your pageant prep. Thank you for watching. Make sure that y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.